Parliament, I know it's modernized and they're moving along with their ideas and everything, especially Brexit now, but they still have some old traditions they hang on to. All the renovations on it, I haven't heard it. Is it even a clock anymore? I'm not talking about Mace the Rapper.
See the girls in the club, they're getting wild for me, and all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me.
Was designed to stop sword fights. I see what you guys do in there. I see what you Londoners are doing. 3 years ago, I took a picture of my girlfriend in Paris and my life forever changed. Fast forward to today, living in a different city every month, our lives are anything but conventional. Maybe it's crazy, maybe it's foolish, maybe it's Maybelline. All I know is our adventures have become one big movie. Come along with us as we travel the world, documenting our stories one passport stamp at a time. This is Captain Castor Vlogs. Right across the way from Westminster Abbey is actually our second stop on Westminster. It's actually the Houses of Parliament. The huge area, this big long strip, goes all the way down, but that side's under renovation, so I want to show you this side. Let me go around this way. The Houses of Parliament is the center for where London politics goes on. Think of it as the Washington, D.C. of London. Pretty much have every meeting, every election, every vote is cast right here, with more than like 100 staircases, 1,000 cavernous hallways. I think it's more than 3 miles of hallways. It's just huge. It goes from this end all the way along the river. It's actually also quite Gothic, as you can see, but it's pretty structurally strong. I guess in like World War II, when the Nazis were bombing, they tried to bomb Parliament and it withstood like a lot of the bombs. Stronger than it looks, I would say. But I don't want to bore you with all the historical facts. You guys can go look those up yourself. But I want to give you two of the most fun but absurd facts I heard about this place. Number one, I don't know if you guys have seen inside like on TV or anything, but basically the Commons area was designed to stop sword fights. You heard me right, sword fights. The way it's built and the way the benches are and the way the lines on the ground are, they're certain distances apart that they're longer than sword's length. So I guess when people used to argue about stuff, they would have sword fights.
Prepare to die.
That is like the wildest fact to me. But what's even funnier is there's still swords in there. So apparently if anybody has a disagreement or has a problem, they can grab those swords off the wall and have a sword fight. So I guess that's how they used to settle it. They used to want to stop sword fights. They still have swords there. You can, I guess, take a swing or something. Secondly, this is, I think, even crazier, but more of like a tradition. Parliament only has power when there is a mace present. I'm not talking about Mace the Rapper.
See the girls in the club, they're getting wild for me, and all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me.
Or like mace, like pepper spray. I'm literally talking about a club.
Sheer brute concussive force.
Like a mace club, like something you used to see in like Braveheart or some old Irish movie where they used to have clubs and maces instead of swords and just like go to war with that. Literally like a mace you bash something with. If a mace isn't present in Parliament, nothing can get done. There's no power. I find that hard to believe, but apparently that's what tradition is, and they always have a mace present. I think it's like 5 foot or 4 foot. I guess if someone has a problem too, they can just grab that mace.
But they'll never take our freedom!
Parliament, I know it's modernized and they're moving along with their ideas and everything, especially Brexit now, but they still have some old traditions they hang on to. Hopefully there's no sword fighting or mace fighting in recent and they can get some work done. I know that might not look like a lot to you, but that is actually one of London's most iconic historical buildings. You might know him as Big Ben. You see, Big Ben hasn't been chiming a lot as of lately, which is weird for more central Londoners. If you've been to central London before, you'll know Big Ben chimes on the hour, every hour, and it's known for its accuracy. Plus the fact it's one of the biggest bells in the world and you hear that thing from a long ways away. So when I first got here, I was actually wondering if Big Ben was working at all. All the renovations on it, I haven't heard it. Is it even a clock anymore? To answer your question, yes, it's definitely a clock. It definitely works. I think the reason you haven't heard the bell in a year or so is because the workers on there would absolutely lose their eardrums if they heard that bell that close. I mean, it is so loud. You don't even see Big Ben and you're hearing that thing like you're standing next to him. So I think if people are working next to him and working on him and that bell goes, they're not hearing for the rest of their life. I'm pretty sure that's why we haven't heard Big Ben. But don't worry, he still works. He's just going a little bit of a plastic surgery, facial reconstruction right now. I think they're working on him. But usually it's one of the most iconic, beautiful towers you'll ever see. London bases their whole New Year's on the clock because it's super accurate. They kind of theme it around there. You'll see Big Ben statues in stores. A lot of people will take home like snow globes of Big Ben. It's really one of London's most iconic staples. A little sad to see him under construction. I really like the beauty of him. I'm sure he'll be back in no time and ringing just as loud as ever. I actually find it funny that's one of the most accurate clocks in the world, and it's like placed right next to Parliament, because I bet you the politicians did that on purpose so they aren't wasting any time being in work any longer than they have to. Right when it's the time they get off, they hear Big Ben, they get off. I don't think they're doing in any overtime or any late clock time. Probably why they're doing the renovations on it, just to make sure it's really accurate. I see what you guys do in there. I see what you Londoners are doing.